Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. This is going to be video number 2 today, but I had to make it just because there's so much buzz around Charles Power and On3's new updates to their player ratings, specifically with Jadon Perlotte. Some people are saying, well, did Jadon take such a big bump in his rating because people are anticipating that he's going to be decommitting from UGA and then committing to our Volunteers? Well, Charles Power actually came to the general's quarters over there on VolQuest. I believe it was yesterday, just to kind of shed some light on why our players moved up or down. So we'll kind of read off what he had to say, at least some of it, but really this video is going to be specifically about Jadon Perlotte. Y'all please make sure, as always, to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so this is what Charles Power had to say for himself over there at the general's quarters. And for those of y'all that don't know, Charles Power is the director of scouting and rankings at On3. He's the big dog when it comes to this stuff, but he's not the only person that's involved with it, so let's just keep that in mind. Now, up at the top, y'all can see he's talking about GMAC and why GMAC took a bump with their ratings. Y'all can pause that and read it at your own leisure. That's kind of a long paragraph. So we're going to skip ahead to Doug Utu. So right here where it says Utu didn't move up or down, we view him as a solid high floor interior offensive lineman who could have some positional flexibility given his experience at tackle. And I think that he is spot on with what he's saying here, outside of the fact that Doug Utu is definitely underrated with their rankings. In my opinion, he should be a 5-star all day long. He's probably the best offensive lineman that I've seen in this entire class, and that includes David Sanders. And I'm just saying that because I was able to watch one full game film of Doug Utu. We all watched it together, and he's a stud play in, play out. So anyway, on to the next player, Marion Dye. It says that Dye went up some for us. One of the bigger freaks in the cycle. His measurements at the On3 Elite Series were the best of anyone there. He's a guy with 5-star upside with continued improvement on Friday night. So what that sounds like to me is if Marion Dye comes out and has a really good senior season, he's going to be upgraded to a 5-star. That is where he belongs. Now on down to Christian Gass. He's not committed to our Volunteers, but he is a player that we feel like could be committing on July the 20th. So right here it says that Christian Gass did go up a bunch. Another with a bunch of upside. His size, length, and speed stack up really well at the position. Can also rush the passer. It's easy to see why he's so coveted. So we agree with that for sure. The next player is going to be Shady Hayward. He says that Shady Hayward also moved up a touch, just a pure football player, and like him as an active, strong safety who could slide into the box at times. So I think that that's pretty spot on. Again, I think that he's definitely underrated. He should be moved up a little bit more than that just because he is a football player and he's so versatile. I just don't think that they take into account how much that means outside of just all the measurements and all the normal stuff that they go by. But anyway, all the way down here, okay, with Jadon Perlotte, we have his measurables and his frame and length aren't on the high end at the position. He's an active physical player as a hang linebacker at Buford, but we like physical and athletic upside of other linebackers more at linebacker. All right, so basically Charles Power is saying that Jadon Perlotte dropped down. I don't know exactly how many spots it was, but it was like 200 or more spots with On3's ratings because they didn't think that he was a big enough linebacker and he also wasn't athletic enough. So, I mean, I think that that's a bunch of BS. I don't know exactly where that's coming from, but you're looking at Jadon Perlotte's profile right here with On3, and you can see that they are the only site that has him as a 3-star and not a 4-star, but he is still a 4-star with their industry ratings. So that's big. I mean, that's huge. If he does end up committing to our Volunteers, I think that that will give us a good boost. Just in the ratings, I know a lot of people care about that stuff. I don't care as much, but this one right here definitely hits close to home for me just because we know Jadon personally. I've seen him play, and there is absolutely no reason that he drops. And I feel like the excuse that Charles Powers gave was just stupid. It didn't make any sense because look right here, okay? Jadon Perlotte is listed at 6'3", 200 pounds. I believe that his verified size is like 6'3", 205. I think that that's pretty good size, and we're going to go through all the top linebackers, and we'll see how many of them have this sort of height. So was he talking about his height? Was he talking about his weight? Maybe it's his weight, but I think that his frame indicates that he could add some more weight, right? I mean, like he could play, I would say, at least 230 pounds, and that's going to be good enough for a college player. Now, something else that's kind of been thrown out there is maybe his arms are a little bit short, but if you look at the average, arm length for an NFL linebacker, it's like 32¼ inches. Right now, Jadon is only like 16, 17 years old, and his arms are already at 31½ inches. So I don't think that that's it. Really nothing makes sense, but let's go ahead and pull this up. And the first player that I want to talk about is the #1 linebacker according to On3's industry rankings. That's Zayden Walker. He's listed at 6'2", 225 pounds. I can tell you right now that that's not a verified size by any means because I got to see him in person at a 7-on-7 down in Athens, Georgia. And if he's 6'2", then Jadon has got to be about 6'6" or 6'7" because he's easily 4 to 5 inches taller than this kid is. Also, My nephew Bray got to play up against him in the 7-on-7 tournament with Buford's freshman and JV team, and their freshman and JV team took it to Zayden the whole game. But anyway, on to the next player. He's only 6'1 and a half, 6'1, 6'1. Let's just see who's the first 6'3 guy. Right here at number 9, he's 6'3 and a half. Might be taller than Jadon Perlotte. I don't know if that's a verified size or what. It looks like it is. Let's keep on scrolling. Here's another one right here that's 6'3. Another one that's 6'3. But outside of that, y'all, everyone else is shorter. Okay, here's one right here at number 20. This guy is 6'4", 205. So he is taller than Jadon, but not by much. So obviously, y'all can see what I'm getting at here. The sizes and everything. I mean, it doesn't really match up. It doesn't really add up. As far as what Charles Powell was saying. I mean, these linebackers are not bigger than Jadon. Jadon has a much bigger frame than all these guys. So the next thing would be, is he athletic enough? Because that's something that Charles Powers had kind of touched on. Let's pull up his film, and y'all tell me, y'all be the judge of, is Jadon an athletic linebacker or not? All right, so this is the first play right here, okay? Jadon, playing at linebacker, gets an interception. He looks like he has good straight line speed, okay? He does kind of get tracked down, but that's a skill guy that tracked him down. Now we got him at the bottom of the screen, coming off of the edge, showing some versatility. Boom, look at that first step. And is he a dog or not? I think that was something else that Charles Powers had kind of touched on, was that he likes his linebackers to be a little bit meaner. I don't think that they get any meaner than Jadon Perlotte. Again, you're seeing him out in the open field, able to change directions. Looks really good so far to me. Again, coming after the passer here, coming on the outside, stops, starts, closes out. His arms look long enough to make plays, in my opinion. Now, look, he's basically playing at star, kind of like a nickel. Look at the burst. Boom, comes up, very willing to get in. I mean, look at the thump and the force on that hit, on that tackle. Look at this. I mean, he's able to bend and all those types of things. In my opinion, he looks plenty enough athletic. I don't get it, y'all. Y'all, please tell me down in the comment section what I'm missing, because obviously there's something. Here he's going after the football. He's making plays. He's a playmaker. He's a dog. I mean, he is a for real stud. So we're seeing all this, and keep in mind, y'all, he's playing in the highest classification in Georgia. That is the best league probably on the face of the planet for high school football. That's SEC talent in every single one of these clips. He's not going up against, some middle school types of kids, right? I mean, he's going up against guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays, some of them on Sundays. Look at what he's doing. He's tracking the ball down from the opposite side of the formation. This kid can play, okay? I mean, he looks really good, very athletic. Look, again, use those big, long arms. Y'all get my point. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Y'all can see it. He's a very good athlete. He's strong at the point of contact, good, solid fundamental tackles. So I would have to respectfully disagree with Charles Power on this. Obviously, Jadon is one of the bigger linebackers in this class, and he's definitely one of the more athletic linebackers. Now, we don't watch as much film as they do over there at On3, but we watch a lot of film. We've seen several linebackers play. That's what we do for fun, y'all. I mean, literally, me, P, and Bray will be sending each other film of different players on almost a daily basis. So we do it all the time. We have a good idea of what linebackers are athletic in this class. Jadon Perlotte is definitely, I would say, top 5, like without question. So for him to take this drop, I'm, speculating on how does it happen. Maybe, they kind of started to get up against the deadline or something. It was getting late. And maybe they had just forgot about Jadon and they tried to put him in too late. And then it was like, oh man, he's down too low. Should we go back and add him where he really should be? But then we have to change everyone else after that. And they said, nah, it's getting too late. We'll just leave it as is and we'll try to fix it later on whenever they, redo these grades and all that. That's what I think maybe could have happened. I don't know. I'm just trying to help them out because our fans are not taking it easy on it by any means. I think that we could sort of, try to ease up on them some, just because it's not an easy job, y'all. I mean, I'm sure it's not. I have no idea how you can tell the difference from a player at 240 to a player at 241. I mean, it's going to be like centimeters of a difference between these players. And I can tell that, they feel bad about it. Like they're coming in trying to tell us, hey, this is why we see this is why we see that. But the explanation just didn't make any sense. And we just saw that. And, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how these rankings play out, right? It really just matters, do we get the players that we want that fit into our scheme, into our system, and can we develop that talent? I think that our staff does the best job of developing talent, maybe out of any staff in the whole country. So if we end up getting a guy like Jadon Perlotte and we also get Christian Gass, I feel like we're going to end up getting both of them, then man, look, that's 2 huge victories over the University of Georgia. And oh, by the way, Steve Wilfong just sent an RPM in favor of our volunteer, Salan Travis Smith. So that could be 3 big-time victories over UGA, by the end of this month. I think that would be really, really big, especially because some people are kind of speculating that, hey, Kirby Smart put the fix into Charles Power and said, look, You need to drop him down so that he wants to stay home at Georgia and take the hometown discount. But I don't see that happening, y'all. I just honestly don't. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Y'all, please let me know yours down in the comment section. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other volunteer fans. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.